When we was looking at wedding venues, it just made sense we get married the same place we met. And we met inside of an online fantasy video game. We found a minister to preside. He's a 5th level orc paladin. And we're going to honeymoon inside the game, and we're probably going to consummate our marriage inside the game.
Yeah.
Not everyone's supportive. Her dad don't get it.
No, he don't.
He looked at me and said, "Son, how you think this thing's going to work?" And I said, "Well, Harold, if you really want to know, you're going to have to pick up the controller and play the game." You can tell he really thought that one over, too.
And David can't contain himself.
I know these people.
That wasn't what I expected. You know that Facebook channel?
I know that type of people. Like, I literally have people that I used to hang out with who ended up like being part of the people who set me up at Sears. To like that was literally them. They met through World of Warcraft and got married in World of Warcraft, and then ended up moving in together, and then ended up getting real world married. And yeah, the whole thing, and it was awful and insane. Oh my god, it's a long ass story. And now his younger brother works for me.
Dude, dope.
Yeah, dude, it's weird.
I found that through the Facebook shorts. And
Oh my god.
I love that fucking channel so much. It's amazing.
It's don't do this. Look, there's a right way and a wrong way to do online relationships.
What do you mean?
I mean, you still have to be human.
Well, only if you're like an alliance scumbag.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I hate you so much.
I don't. You know what's funny is I don't know what you guys are talking about. I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about. What is the so I know World of Warcraft is the Alliance versus
The Horde.
the Horde. Okay. I am genuinely curious because it looks like David is busy. Jake, can you consummate your marriage in World of Warcraft?
I don't
Not
think so.
really. I mean, people find ways. Like, it's kind of like the whole, like, teabagging is humping thing. Yeah. I hate it. Yeah. Dude, I hate it.
This is why I don't play MMOs. Y'all are weird.
Dude, I don't disagree. It's like when one of the first big things to come out of WoW was fucking the Alliance side, which has the humans. The females would make like the most like stripper like quality human that they could.
Okay.
And they would run down to this little town called Goldshire. I can't remember. It's been too long since I played the game. And they just stripped down as naked as they would let your character get and would stand on the table and dance. And then people would like trade them gold, in-game gold, for their dancing on the table. Yeah. It was like one of the very first like things to do in WoW.
To make your way to a town, strip out of all your gear, and then emote on a table for gold.
Yeah.
The world's
And
oldest profession.
It's become such a thing now in those type of games. You pretty much can't go anywhere in a major city without seeing just a bunch of naked characters dancing.
Like actually naked?
Well, no, the lowest you can get on most of them is like a little like sports bra wannabe and a loincloth.
But why?
Because the internet is horny, Jared.
Well, dude, you don't have to tell me about the internet being horny. I have found two. I have the Vaporeon thing. I read about it, and then somebody.
Oh my God, we're on this again.
And
oh,
then
no.
somebody drew it. Somebody drew it, and I found it by accident. So you don't have to tell me how horny the fucking internet is. Okay, I feel disgusted and violated. I was
As
given.
you should.
Well, like, have you ever read something and they're like, "Don't look into it," and your first immediate reaction is like, "I have to look into this now."
No.
Yes.
No, I grew up.
Always. I love that stuff. That's how you come across an Easter egg.
No.
A what?
No, we're not talking about East egg, God damn it.
An
This
Easter egg.
mother-
Easter egg.
No one wants East egg, you piece of shit. God, I hate you.
See, I love that stuff. I think it's hilarious.
But listen, it's hilarious to a certain point, and then you run across some shit. Like that's how I ended up watching like the first 2 minutes of fucking Two Girls, One Cup and shit like that is because people are like, oh, you just have to look it up. Or like this motherfucker introducing me to what munging is. Like that's shit you never want to know.
Yeah, but see, Two Girls, One Cup. I know what they say behind it, and yeah, when your friends are dumb enough to tell you what it is, yeah, you can just go, "Oh, I want nothing to do with that." But if you don't know,
now,
oh no, dude, like they couldn't not tell me on the playground. They're like, "Look up Two Girls, One Cup." I was like, "Why?" They're like, "It's great. What about it is great, right?" Because this was when I had to sneak the internet, right? So yeah, so like if I'm gonna watch something, I'm gonna make it worth my while. But like if it was nowadays where someone's like 2 girls, 1 cup, it's insane. I'd be like 2 girls, 1 cup, go.
Yeah.
Never seen
No.
It was apparently ice cream, so
It's so gross.
yeah.
it.
I did get on a very very weird part of the internet last night on TikToks, looking at like the creepypasta and the creepy things online.
That's less weird.
It's like I love I remember the transition when everything was like the found footage and all that stuff came out, and then like when cell phones got really really big and Adobe and Photoshop and everything got really really big, the quality just never gets better, right? Like you're just watching these videos and you're like, what the fuck? Like what is that? Like that looks like like that's not Bigfoot. That's a pixel. That's weird. That's a pixel. That's weird. Fucking no.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the photos that are taken are really, really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I don't.
Dude, some people know how to do that shit super well. I was actually watching a channel the other day that was doing that kind of stuff with the new LG, like what do they call it, low light or whatever, or like night vision mode.
Yeah.
And they made it look like there's this freaking like demon thing standing in their kitchen, but you have to like zoom into the dark part of it to see it. Dude, it's really, really well done. Like if these Bigfoot people would get their shit together, they could get a lot more people believing, is all I'm saying.
I was watching some found footage of this one, and it's like, oh, this is on a CCTV outside of somewhere. I'm like, that's a CCTV of a monkey, first off. Like, that's not Bigfoot. Okay. The second one was a bear. And then the third one was these really red eyes just staring in the distance. I'm like, that's not creepy. And then, like, a really elongated arm puts its hand on the tree that's on the side there. It's like, all right, that's a little creepy. That's a little creepy. And I swiped up. And the next photo was, who's that guy that OD'd on heroin or whatever? Apparently, he had a bunch of creepy photos. He was a YouTuber, like 23 or some shit. La Hamad, whatever. We know. Don't know. Apparently,
No.
he like his dad wore a really creepy fursuit that looked like a really mangy bear, and it was fucking it was weird as fuck. That side of the internet's dark, son.
Once again, I'm happy to not know what the fuck we're
Happy
talking about.
Can you look at your history on the TikToks?
Yeah.
Where? Okay.
If
where?
you liked it, you
Oh.
can't like.
Oh no, I swiped. I hard swiped
Oh,
past it.
yeah.
It was 2 in the
Then,
morning.
No, it won't be there.
It was 2 in the morning. I was a little scared.
Oh, Jared.
It was like 2, 3 in the morning, and I was like, probably shouldn't watch these.
Yeah.
That's the best time to watch scary stuff. What do you mean?
Yeah, when I'm alone. Dude,
Yeah.
I had a bobcat hit my front door and fucking lose its shit. All right? That scared the fuck out of me at like 2. Yeah, I was playing
Fair.
fucking Escape from Tarkov, and I heard this weird thing outside. I was like, what was that? And then I heard, whap! I heard this thing hit my door, and I just went, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it probably wanted the birds.
Fucking double checked my door. It was, it was, I was genuinely afraid for the first time in
Fair.
a while.
It's a little funny though.
Yeah.
Makes me want to fuck it. Like there's a reason why there's a 38-ounce baseball bat sitting at my front door.
I mean, if it's a Bigfoot, that's not gonna help though, Jared.
No, yeah.
Look, if it's Bigfoot, we're all fucked in the trailer park, all right?
I didn't realize Bigfoot was that horny.
Bro, Bigfoot gets what Bigfoot wants if it comes and visits my apartment. I'd rather be alive to tell a story than dead. Like, I fear the black abyss more than I fear anything.
But, buddy, I don't know if you've ever heard this term or not, but that's just death by snoo snoo.
As long as it's a female, skunk ape, whatever.
I wouldn't hold out hopes.
You
What
guys
a
are
weird episode.
Yeah, I know. Fucking 10
I was
minutes
just
in.
thinking that, Jake.
You guys, speaking of weird shit again, you ever seen a beluga whale? That photo of a beluga whale shot from below, from the like, it's facing like upwards, and then like the sunlight is hitting it, and you look at it, you can almost see it's the skeletal legs that it has inside of it, and you're like, oh yeah, now I know why. No, you never saw that? Yeah, like.
No.
There's a photo that's out there that basically is like, yeah, like this is why sailors probably thought mermaids were a real thing way back in the day with beluga whales. It basically looks like they have 2 legs, or again is really, really well photoshopped.
Okay.
Yeah. Now they're pulling it up on their phones as I'm
Correct.
I definitely am.
yeah, as I'm fucking. Okay, you know what? Let's for the viewers' pleasure. Let's see if I can do. Whoop, yeah. Beluga whale.
Okay, yeah. Let's see what you're talking about. Weird.
Is there? Where is it at? Oh, this is a better photo. Yeah, here we go. For those of us that are looking at it, looking at the Spotify. Oh, let's just turn that off. Yeah, so you can see its legs moving there, and look at that. That is 100% fucking mermaid material right there. Right there, hey. What?
Those ass mermaids.
Yeah.
I mean, the sea is a lonely place, David.
Apparently.
Sorry, I took it to a weird
Are we
place.
sure we're talking about beluga whales?
Yeah, I typed it. I don't have my screen share on because I'm sharing VLC Media Player, but yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah, I found what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, the sea is scary as shit, isn't it?
Meh.
All right.
Shut the fuck up, Jake.
The ocean's not scary.
Yes, it is. It's
No.
not scary to you because you live in a landlocked state far, far away from the fucking ocean.
I mean, true, but like, I've been to the ocean. It wasn't scary. It was nice.
Everything that lives in the ocean wants to kill you.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's no more true than like when you're out in the mountains.
Yes, and everything there wants to kill you. The difference is that I have been taught and trained to outkill them. I'm not good in the water.
I'm way more scared of a fucking moose than a beluga whale.
A moose?
Yeah.
No, listen, moose. Now, bull moose, if it's in rut, scary. But 90% of the time, moose are fine, man. As long as you got a fucking apple, you're good.
No, no. I'm not feeding a fucking moose. Get out of here. it's the thing of, sure, moose aren't usually hostile, but if a moose does decide to fuck me up, there's nothing I can do to stop it.
Correct. That's why, Jake, you stay away from moose.
Yeah.
You give them a healthy, right, okay, you can give them a healthy birth. You can be like, oh, that's a fucking moose over there. I'm going to walk this way. They don't pursue you. You can't do that with anything in the ocean. You can't see, oh, look, 150 meters over there's a fucking great white. No, what you see is, oh, shit, I've become a fucking snack. All right? You can't see them until they're on top of you in 3-foot fucking water. There is less water there than there is them. Fucking Jesus Christ. Awful.
Yeah,
That's fine.
The ocean is scary as fuck, dude.
Nah.
You
hate the ocean.
Well, so they do like these great white expeditions, right? They literally just throw a cage in the middle of the ocean. They're like, fuck it, here sounds good. And then it just, life starts teaming up and around you. Everything is genuinely interested in who you are and what you are out there. And they will just come up and, like, they make these great white cages that are supposed to be impenetrable. Sharks get in there all the fucking time. It's no. If I'm any more than knee deep in the ocean, I am not going in.
No, fuck that. Let me send you the video that I saw the other day. You won't even do that shit. There's a video out there that they caught, I think it was in Florida, but this shark fucking like shoots up onto the beach like a goddamn missile. You cannot see it until it is 2 feet away from like where the tide is stopping. And it like snaps at something. I want to say it grabbed like a bird or some shit. And then it like wiggles itself back into the fucking water and takes off again. Like, fuck that. I'm not going anywhere near the beach. Fuck that. Between the diseases and the needles in the sand, especially if it's a California beach.
We live in Wyoming. You can find that at the park.
I agree. That's why I don't go to parks.
It's fine. The ocean's not scary.
The ocean is dumb.
No.
Dude,
yes.
The killing something in the ocean is far harder than killing something on land. On land, you can go pew, pew,
Why are you trying
pew.
to kill things?
Well, kids, they're trying to kill you, sir.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, very rarely.
Everything in the ocean. No.
Yeah.
You sound exactly like that scuba diver instructor who recently got bit by a fucking shark because she was like, tiger sharks are harmless. Man, watch me bite its fin. And then it was like, bitch, don't bite me.
Well,
and it fucking bit her back.
Dude,
I'm not an idiot.
The Discovery Channel was like, hey, check out this pool of nurse sharks. They're super harmless. Not a big deal. It took his calf off. And they called it an exploratory bite. And nurse sharks are they're known to never do that. And they're like, yeah, no, we're harmless. And then he loses his fucking calf. And it is like, dude.
Yeah. It's like all those people in the Middle East who are like, I have a puma as a cat. All right, great. And then you read like 6 years later, man was eaten by his pet puma. No shit.
Yeah. It's the Siegfried and Roy thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same as like all the tourists in South Dakota who get killed by fucking bison every year because they're like, I'm gonna pet the bison, then they get trampled.
That's
pet the fucking bison.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah,
it's
agree.
the same with sharks. Like,
no.
I'm not afraid to go into the ocean because there's sharks in the ocean, but I'm also not gonna be like, I'm gonna bite this tiger shark. Or like, ooh, I'm gonna stand in this pool of sharks. That's fucking stupid. Just don't be an idiot.
Yeah, just don't ever enter the water.
Yeah, agreed.
No, that's not the same.
It is the same.
No, it's not.
All of the ocean
That's like
is their territory.
like refusing to go camping because there's bears in the woods. It's stupid.
First of all, lots
just
of people
don't be
do
an
that.
idiot. Yeah, they're stupid.
But the difference is not all of the woods is the bear's territory.
Yeah.
All of the ocean is the shark's territory.
From sea to shining sea is the territory that you don't fuck with, okay? The bears, they don't generally go in this area, okay.
Like, I wasn't even being facetious or making a joke there. Like, literally, any area where the shark finds themselves is their territory. It's not like bears where they're like, oh, I wandered out of my territory to find shit. I'm in a new place. Oh God, sharks aren't that fucking smart. No, they're egotistical, whatever you want to call it. But sharks are like, oh, I'm in a new area. Fuck you, bitches. This is my area now.
Just for reference, like a pack of orcas killed a great white shark, and a great white
dude.
shark, and apparently like a couple of the tagged ones like dove down to 1,500 meters and swam like a couple hundred miles, like 1,000 miles away or some crazy shit like that.
Dude, orcas are way scarier than sharks.
Oh yeah.
Free Willy is a dick.
Yeah. Well, dude, you hear about fucking dude one Omega basically was attacked by a yacht, and then she's been just teaching pods and pods, and those pods have been teaching other pods how to fucking flip yachts and shit. So now there's a pods of orcas that are just like, fuck these boats because one person slighted one of them. No.
Yeah.
What? None of that. Again,
I'm on the orca side.
I mean,
Fuck
I'm with
those
the
yachts.
orcas as well too.
I mean, fuck yachts, but like, listen, I don't disagree. The orcas are right.
Orcas get it. They're literally eating the rich.
But it's not just yachts though. They're attacking like fishing boats and
Yeah, I know.
rafts and kayaks, and like the orcas are becoming the problem.
Did you see the Aussie that had the orca come look at his like orca spotted kayak? Fuck you doing, Mike?
Oh.
Get out of here. He's like, you ain't. I don't want to know you. And he's like, what's up, buddy? And I'm like, oh no, sir. No, sir. This is where I shit myself and hope my excrement gets everywhere, and the orca doesn't like it. That's how I get out of that situation. Shit my pants and hope they don't like it.
Got it. So you are literally a rat.
Yeah, I'm a fucking rat, son. We know this from Tarkov. We know everything about me, all right? The rat senses are real IRL, too.
Oh my God.
Bro, fuck the ocean, dude.
It's not that scary. It's fine.
Shut up, Jake. You're wrong.
I went flats walking down in Texas, and out of nowhere, just like a sea of mines rolled up on us, aka jellyfish. And if I had been where I wanted to go fishing, I would have been stung mercilessly and probably passed out as well too. As we're driving along the flats, and all of a sudden I see this dorsal fin pop up out of the water. It was a dolphin, and just to watch them ruthlessly chase down whatever fish they were going after, and to not have any inclination of where they were to begin with, and then the dorsal fin just go boop, I'm here, and then to see a dolphin just sprint essentially after a fish, fucking I was not going back in the water day two. That was no, sir, hard pass. Fuck you, dude. No, Jake, you're a lunatic. Plus, I should have stayed in Houston at the guy's house because he had all of his nieces over, and they were just magnifique. Back when Jared was 18. I walked into the house, dude, and the guy, my stepdad Gary at the time, was like, "Hey, Jared, this is my buddy so and so. He's taking us fishing. Here's the boat." And I walk in, it's just like 18-year-old girls who are the same age as me and just in their bikinis ready. "Hey, uncle, can we use your hot tub?" And da-da-da. And he's like, "Jared, you probably don't want to go flats walking anymore, do you?" I was like, "No, sir. No, I don't. I'll babysit your house. I'll do whatever you want for me. What do you need me to do?" And I drove fucking 5 hours away.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Just told you the ocean sucks.
Now that's not what? All right, I'm no longer on your side.
We're good.
It makes me think of Brian Posehn, the comedian, on his D&D podcast one time was talking about, because like a bunch of them used to live together who are in like their D&D group.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about like one of their friends who lived with them was a photographer, and it was like right when Halo 1 had come out, and he was a photographer for Suicide Girls. And he like threw like an after shoot party, and there were like 20 or 30 like models at their house, like using their hot tub, like in bikinis. And Brian Posehn's like, "Yeah, but we were really into Halo and they kept getting in the way." So we just ended up like yelling at them, like, "Get out of the fucking living room. We're trying to play this."
Oh my
It's
God.
like, and then a few days later, it like dawned on them of like, oh, we could have been like hitting on these like literal models that were in our house, but we were trying to beat Halo.
Yeah, but if they were,
Priorities, Jake.
dude, if they were true gamer, because I know a lot of the Suicide girls like play a lot of video games. Maybe they wanted to pick up a controller and play with them.
Maybe.
This is the 90s, Jared. Women don't play video games.
Women do play video games, all right?
Yes, I'm aware. Never mind.
Also, isn't the 90s?
I know.
It's 2024.
I was saying, because isn't that was in the 90s though, right?
Halo?
Remember
No.
correctly?
No, Halo's like early 2000s.
Was it early 2000s? I thought it was late 90s.
Nah. No, because Xbox is contemporary with PS2, right? That was that console generation?
The
Yeah.
360.
I don't remember.
Hello, Jamie. November 15th, 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah. Because
That's-
Xbox was like competing with PS2, not PS1.
All right, that's why my brain put it in the late 90s. Sorry.
The 360 came out in 2005.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
Shit. Wait, really? Xbox was November 15th, 2021, the Xbox was released. And Halo came out so they built
What?
What?
Check that date again. You just said 2021, brother.
Oh, sorry, November 15th, 2001.
There you go.
The Xbox came out November 15th, 2001, and Halo. So they made the game for the console that was released.
Yeah, it was a launch title.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Halo was the Xbox launch title. Halo was the reason to get an Xbox back in the day. Still is, in my opinion, but
how do you make a game for a console that's being built?
Well, because they were like directly working with Microsoft.
yeah. Also, that used to be the thing. You almost always had a launch title for any new console.
Yeah, it's like the PlayStation 5 and Horizon New Dawn or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn.
Although, I guess the Forbidden West was the one for PS5, but
I just...
God, such a good game.
Fair. It is very good.
8 megabit memory card. Holy shit. 8 to 10 gigabytes internal hard drive formatted to 8 gigs with a lot of Yeah, like we look back and we're like, wow, 10 gigs. Oh my god. And now we're like 100 gigs. Sure, I guess whatever.
Listen, the fact that it had a hard drive at all was like the big technological thing for the Xbox.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
Like,
remember...
can you imagine a console that has a hard drive? Isn't this crazy?
Yep. What do you mean we don't need memory cards?
Remember the
Exactly.
And all of us poor kids were like, motherfuckers. They could have done this the whole time?
You guys remember the PlayStation memory cards? 1 megabit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
The big gray ones that looked like Game Boy games.
Yes, sir.
where it was at. Those fucking files would get corrupted all the time too. It's terrible.
You know, I think that's a very specific you and your brother problem, Jake, because none of my ones at home ever had that happen. Ever. In
What?
fact, my system got corrupted easier than my memory cards. But even when I got the new system, my memory cards worked fine.
I've never had a problem with the PlayStation memory cards ever, from the 1, 2, and all the way up and through until they stopped using them. Like, I never had a problem with them ever. I thought it was. I thought it was a myth.
It's just a me thing.
Yeah.
Is this another fucking Bethesda games don't work?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
I thought we talked about this.
I thought everyone suffered with. Every once in a while, a fucking save file would just corrupt for both PS1 and PS2.
No,
I distinctly remember the little image it would pull up when you like pulled up the memory card that had all your saves for a corrupted save. Because I saw it so regularly.
I legitimately, Jake, thought that for a long time, like, I could have sworn that was just, oh, Willie deleted my save and Jake is trying to, like, save face for Willie.
No.
Yeah,
I lost so many saves.
I know.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Now I'm mad.
Dude, I've
Yeah, no,
never had a corrupted file. I thought it was a playground myth. People are like, oh, my save got corrupted. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? How does that happen?
I thought it only happened to, like, idiots who pulled the memory card out, like, while it was saving.
No. Happened to me all the time across multiple different PlayStation consoles. Like,
I do remember I used to never believe Jake until he had a corrupted save on one of my memory cards for, I want to say it was Final Fantasy X, because it was the PlayStation 2 and it was the first time, like, I had never seen a corrupted save until the PlayStation 2.
I had less on the PS2, but I still
Yeah.
had them. PS1, like, probably 20 or 30 saves were lost over the course of my time playing PS1.
Oh, yeah,
How?
no.
Why?
I don't know. That's why I never when I was a kid beat Star Ocean second story.
Oh, wait.
So I was on
really?
the second disc and my file corrupted.
Dude, you guys...
That
Dude,
time.
that's such a good game.
I beat it later in college when I rebought it.
Oh, okay.
But
That is such an old statement, the second disc.
Oh, bro. I miss those days, man, when games would come out and they'd be like 3 or 4 discs long.
it was so satisfying to like get to that like insert disc 2 screen.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Such a sense of accomplishment. That to me is like way more like of a thing than like getting an achievement or whatever. That has never meant anything to me. But those insert the next disc screens, like, fuck yeah, I did it.
It was a physical marker of your progress.
Yes.
Wasn't Metal Gear's one of the Metal Gear Solid games, wasn't it like 4 discs long or something crazy like that?
The first one was 3 discs.
I remember when I got to the third and final disc on that game, and it just, you're right, it was so satisfying to just
I know.
open your PlayStation and put in disc 3. I
I want
remember,
to say it was only 2 discs.
I know I played a game where there was 3 or 4 discs for it, and it was
Oh, definitely.
so fucking satisfying to be like disc 3. It's like you're talking in the playground. Oh, guys, I made it to disc 3. You're not gonna make it. I'll wait till you get to the 4th one, Jared. Fucking God. That's such an old statement to say.
Oh yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, no, Metal Gear Solid was 2 discs.
Metal Gear Solid was 2 discs.
Yeah,
And then
now
Final
I'm
Fantasy
thinking.
7 was 3.
I think 8 was 4.
That's what I was just looking up, because same.
See, that would create the problem, though, of one time, I remember specifically with Final Fantasy 8, it was like the third disc didn't work,
Yeah.
like because we bought like a used copy. So we had to like get to the third disc, borrow someone else's, just third disc, to get through to the 4th disc.
Yep.
It was either the third or the second, but
But yes, we had, Final Fantasy 8 was 4 discs. 'Cause it had those massive cinematics.
Jesus.
sure did.
You
And
don't
I
know
mean,
Jack is old.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was?
And
there
they had to have good graphics to show off how hot Squall is in the ball scene.
Oh my god.
Fear Effect was.
He's the
4
most
discs.
handsome man Renault's ever seen, David.
Oh god.
Shout out to mid 2000s memes from RPG forums.
Jesus, dude.
Fear Effect
And that
was 4.
frickin', like, the witch who was supposed to be the big bad, who ends up not being all that bad.
Gran Turismo 2. I remember when I got to use the second disc on that game. That was a fucking staple of my life.
Nerd.
What?
Fucking playing racing games.
Dude,
Yeah.
Play JRPGs like the rest of us. Have some self-respect, God.
fuck you.
Yeah, we were playing fucking cool games like Wild Arms. That's
Yeah.
why we got all the chicks.
Did you get a Class A license? What about a Class S, right? I don't know about you guys, but I got a couple licenses. I was golden, son.
No, Golden Sun was on Super Nintendo.
Stop
Shut
being
up,
a nerd,
Jake.
Jake.
I hate you. But also, Golden Sun was a great game.
Dude, I remember my first endurance race where they're like, yeah, it's a 50 lap race. It's like, oh, we'll do like 2 or 3. No, it was all 50 laps of you driving in your car. And it just, never again. I always hired out for those endurance races on Gran Turismo. Never again. Never again. You just pay the top guy money. You don't win nearly as much, but the simulation helps you win. I will never do 50 laps ever again. That was fucking insane.
Dude. Lame.
What do you mean lame? It's not lame.
Yeah. You can at least be playing like Hot Pursuit. What the fuck's the name of that franchise?
Need for Speed. Hot Pursuit.
Yeah.
Or Twisted Metal.
Yeah. At least in those ones, people are trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Apple TV's Twisted Metal?
No.
No.
Kind of want to watch it.
Fair.
I have it. I need a reason to watch it, but yeah.
I can't imagine it being good, but I also kind of want to see it.
I have deliberately not watched it because I'm so terrified at how it's going to turn out.
I still remember the sound effects of that game.
Yeah. My concern is that it's going to be a Fast and the Furious movie where all the cheesiness actually makes sense, and I can't get over that.
What do you mean a man fused with a Segway? How is that going to be cheesy?
He makes a good point.
I hate you guys.
Calypso
you know exactly
stretched
what I
a
mean.
guy's face across the entire Earth. That's not cheesy. That's
No.
cool.
That game. That game brings back so many memories.
It's where most of the world learned that there is a place called Hell, Michigan.
Yeah.
I have a
There's
question.
also, like, maybe the first place I ever heard new metal.
Yeah.
So I know I can't go back in time to play video games again for the first time because the graphics are shit and I'm a snob like that. If you guys got transported back knowing what was to come, would you be thrilled to go back to the heyday, the golden era of gaming, or?
I mean, I already kind of do that.
Yeah.
I have no problem going back to old games. I love, like, Super Nintendo and PS1 era JRPGs specifically is like that was the height of gaming in my mind. It still is. I could give a fuck less about graphics.
So does Baldur's Gate 3 do it for you then?
I haven't played it. That is different. There's like two strains of RPGs. There's the JRPGs and there's CRPGs. Baldur's Gate 3 is basically the revival of like the CRPG into being like super popular.
Mm-hmm. What is a CRPG?
I'm less into like much more based directly on D&D. Like the old Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 were like the big ones back in the 90s. There's also like Wizardry and like a bunch, like going all the way back to the 80s. It was a computer RPG is what CRPG stands for.
Okay.
But it's like the Western strain of RPGs, like Mass Effect and Fallout and stuff like that comes out of that.
Yep.
That like branch of RPGs, which I like, but I'm much less into than the JRPG strain coming out of like Final Fantasy and
I mean, what's really
think the other one.
difference? What's the difference between JRPGs and CRPGs?
Uh,
Well, for one, your JRPGs generally tended to be much more um like drawn out by a specific story, whereas your Western RPGs, a lot of your early ones, while they still had the underlying story and the role playing game, a lot of the times the creation of them focused more on like pure mechanical and actual like gameplay aspects, whereas that I think got popularized in the JRPGs later. And in my personal opinion, they smashed the fucking Western RPGs out of the water with it. But a lot of your early JRPGs were almost um like a large portion of it was almost like what is the fucking term I'm looking for? Like the almost text-based games, but not
Mm,
quite.
okay.
Whereas with Western RPGs, like for instance, like Fallout and stuff, they kind of developed the way you would play the game first, and then the story sort of secondary to it.
They made it more movie like, whereas with the JRPGs it was like, here's the mechanics and here's kind of the end goal that you're going for. Go play it however you want to play it.
no,
No?
the opposite. So, yeah, like Western RPGs, like have always had that like the focus is on like you make your character and then you kind of role play that character. That's why they tend to be a lot more open. You have a lot more choices,
Yeah.
Okay.
whereas JRPGs tended to be more because they were like directly inspired by like anime and manga. So
Mm.
they like told like a linear story that you might have like a few choices that like influence things, but it's mostly like just a really well written story that you have
Oh,
less of
okay.
an influence on. But the main reason I prefer JRPGs is because they approach characters more as characters instead of doing the like you
Build a
make your
you.
character and then role
Okay.
play it, which I tend to like. I tend to like games with like a cast of characters, like a full party, as opposed to like the focus on you as the protagonist that you create, kind of D&D style role playing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I
Um,
sorry,
a
David.
good example, sorry, that maybe will be two games is the difference between the original Fallout, if you've ever played the very first Fallout, and Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
Chrono Trigger is very JRPG ish. I mean, well, it is technically a JRPG, but by then they'd had a lot more um mechanics and things put in. But I'm trying to think of like more popularized games that you might have played.
Okay.
Have you
I
played Chrono Trigger, Jared?
I have not.
Oh my god.
I
I, I, I I know you struggle with the graphics thing, but man,
well,
it's like
It's
widely
so
regarded as
good.
like the best game ever made.
so my gaming kind of started around the I think it was Metal Gear what Metal Gear Solid had the Psycho guy to where you had to plug it into
That's
control.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
That's one.
so like that's when I started. I started with that, the GoldenEye, and then it wasn't until like PlayStation 2, end of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 came out that I really, really got heavily into Call of Duties, and that's kind of the realm that I went. So
Gotcha. So you did jock gaming.
I did very much jock gaming. Yeah, it wasn't. I'd never had a friend like you. Like, my buddy was like, "Oh yeah, you got to get this busted PlayStation that's with his pack on it to play these Japanese games that you can barely read." And I'm like, I don't have the time to fucking learn Japanese, man."
Well,
Ryan,
you don't learn Japanese. You figure out
Exactly.
through trial and error which
Mm.
slections
does
means which
what?
thing. Like, okay, the top one is yes, the bottom one is no. Okay. I remember Super Robot Wars is a game that my brother bought. That the one that he bought never came out in English. It's never been
Okay.
translated. He like had it imported for like hundreds of dollars. Like he knew
Jesus.
Japanese though, like so he could
Okay.
actually read it. But I remember trying to play it and being like, I don't know. I guess the one on the top left when I'm choosing means attack. When I'm on this menu and just like trying to figure that shit out through trial and error.
Yeah, Ryan, bless Ryan's heart. He figured all that shit out. And I'm just like, I get like, cuz when I finally did have the PlayStation, I had like an hour and a half to play it, but I had to share it between me and my two brothers as well too.
All
So a
right.
lot of it was like Tekken and shit like that.
I apparently have to dip from the recording
Oh, okay. No, you're good, man. Jake and I can finish things out
because
here.
technicians showed up without giving us more than 30 minutes warning.
No,
So,
you're good, buddy.
Didn't even know they were showing up today. It's awesome.
All right, well, have a good one, man.
See you, bud.
Thanks
Sorry,
for being a
guys.
part of it. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I didn't have that friend that was kind enough. Oh, that's not even a thing. There I am, and there's Yake. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that sucks, man. Fuck. Let's unlock this, and can I resize? No, fuck it, whatever. The sizing is very, very weird now, but all right. Yeah, that was one of the big things about gaming way back in the day was if it wasn't in English, fuck it, dude. I don't know. Like, good luck, Jared.
It's not even like there was no like voice acting, so it wasn't even like you can switch to an English audio track. So it was all written.
Dude, that's so dumb.
But you got to have the Gundams from Gundam Wing in that one, so it was worth it, Jared.
I might have to go back because Gundam was one of my favorite animes that I used to watch back in the day. I think I came in like it was like one of those movies where you come in halfway through, but you kind of get the idea. It's just these big mech warriors fighting with each other. Some of that shit was dope though. The sword that they would make, fucking yes sir.
Yeah, Gundam is great.
I kind of going back because those were the days where it was Gundam, Ghost in the Shell, on Toonami, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon. There was one other one, Cowboy Bebop. Did you happen to see? Because I know they supposedly made an IRL Cowboy Bebop. Did you ever get a chance to check that out?
No.
No.
I heard that it wasn't great, and I wasn't interested.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it. Not too fond of it. I've heard the One Piece remake, right, where they did the IRL, is really, really good. I did also watch Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell. I kind of liked it. Like, for a very passive, casual viewer, I liked it. You didn't?
I don't know. Again, I never watched it because I just heard it was so bad compared to the original.
I mean, Scarlett Johansson in that One Piece white outfit, not too bad. Watching her kill people, that's pretty satisfying, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
I mean, she does it in black.
Like I'm sure like there's a good like you can just make that movie and not have it be an adaptation of that thing, and I think it would be a lot better. I feel the same way about like that guy who makes he made the shitty Resident Evil movies and then that Monster Hunter movie where it's like these would be fine like schlocky fun B movies if you didn't attach a name of a like beloved thing and then just not do any of the things from that.
But the Monster Hunter movie was pretty good with Mila Jovovich. Like, it was pretty good, man.
I'm sure that it's fine, but like it's a fantasy game. Like, and they put like modern soldiers into it because that's the only kind of movie that guy knows how to make. Yeah, just don't make a fucking Monster Hunter movie then. Make a movie about soldiers killing monsters. That's fine. That's an interesting premise. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to take this game about people with like these, crazy like fantasy weapons fighting these monsters and like bring in like regular ass soldiers.
Yeah, but did you happen to watch the movie at all?
I watched the trailer and got angry. So no.
Just give it a shot. I'm going to say give it a shot because the premise of why the soldiers are there and they get transported they get transported to the Monster Hunter world, and then they meet the real Monster Hunters, right? They meet the real people, and it becomes an
stupid,
interesting...
Jared.
It's not
just
stupid.
Have the Monster Hunters. You don't need to bring in people from our world. But it's so shitty.
But it's a way to tie the trilogy. It's a way to make a trilogy. They did the thing where they're like trying to make it a back to back or a trilogy, right? This was of the time where trilogies were the thing. So I see why they did it. I'm not saying it's
You-
great.
You can make a trilogy in a fantasy setting without bringing in more. It'd be like if they did the Lord of the Rings movie and then they were like, we brought in Joe from America so that the viewers have someone to relate to because they can't relate to hobbits. They need a guy. It's stupid. Just have the fantasy setting. Don't bring regular ass people in for no reason.
You let me have my military boner soft spot, all right, sir.
Like you can make that movie. That's fine. Just don't call it Monster Hunter. Just don't completely change the premise of the thing you're adapting.
Well, fine. I guess it's just shit on Jared time. So, why don't we just go to the complaint department and hear what Jake has got to say about all my other choices, huh?
The Human Resources
They're all
Department
wrong.
requires that I be available once a month to discuss workplace disputes with my employees.
So I'm wrong about Monster Hunter. Jake, what else did you find I was wrong about through your catching up of the episodes, and where are you at?
I'm almost to the first time we came on.
Holy shit,
like-
dude!
I have like 2 episodes and then I'll be on that one. Well, I've reached the point where I've like listened to a bunch of episodes.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I'll listen to like 2 episodes and then I'm like, I've listened to the next 5. So I get to skip those.
I still find
I'm
it
on episode 134.
Dude, I still find it fucking fascinating that like you guys listen to my podcast. To be like 100% honest with you, when like all my friends were like, "Yeah, we listened to it," it's like, really? I didn't think you would. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't listen to it right now anymore
that's fair.
because I'm on it.
Yeah, even before I was listening to the whole thing, like I would listen to the show. I'd listen to like I think I counted. I think it was actually like I thought it was 20 some. I'd listened to like 30 some episodes
Nice.
Yep.
before being forced to listen to all of it.
Well, that's 29 more than I thought you would have listened to be honest with you.
I mean, I will say it definitely helped that I was listening to recent ones. I think if I started from episode 1, I don't know if I'd have made it.
No,
Those early episodes were rough.
Yeah, I know they were. I know Kyle said he started from the beginning as well too. I wonder where he got. I wonder.
I mean, it's Kyle, so probably like episode 2.
Yeah, that's what I was
Because
gonna
nothing
say.
holds Kyle's attention.
And then he just because he said he was starting from the beginning, and then he got through a couple, and he was like, "Yeah, I think it was, I forget what episode where I upgraded, and like I made it like an official podcast." But he said he got there, and then I just never heard anything about it. So, yeah, I probably did lose attention. But Jake, so I guess this is the last HR meeting that I have to hold. So I guess hit me with your best shot, brother.
Okay, my first note is it's fascinating what Jared finds to be quote unquote too far with sex stuff and what he doesn't. Because it seems so arbitrary. It's like you'll say some like super disgusting stuff sometimes, and then you'll have someone off and they'll be like, come, and you're like, don't say that. Like, last episode you spent 15 minutes like talking about like anal sex in detail for like some like metaphor you were making. But then Gallo will come on and you'll be like, Gallo, don't say that.
I think half the reason why is because I know where Gallo can go with it with his previous endeavors and actually his recent endeavors as well too. So
Fair.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
My next note is how does the 18-year-old on To Catch a Predator keep coming up?
I don't know. Like, I want to bring Chris. I want to bring him on because it fascinates me, dude. Right? Like it fascinates me. I don't know.
I'm aware. And like Chris Hansen and To Catch a Predator coming up a lot makes sense. It's one specific story from To Catch a Predator that's come up like dozens of times now.
So it's one of those thoughts that you have where you're like, this is a dangerous thought process to have, right? But you want to know more about it, right? Because you're like, so I think it was the kid. So after he finished this whole thing, he's now on True Blue. TRUBLUE, whatever, True Blue. That's his new thing where he does the To Catch a Predator stuff, right? And they caught him in Michigan where he was 18 and the girl that he was trying to hook up with, I think was either 15 or 16, right? She wasn't the 12, 13, whatever, like the most Predator bullshit is where you're like, yeah, I know how to solve that problem. A 9 mil to the back of the skull, right? But you think about it, this is where he would have literally been in school with them like 2 months ago because he had just graduated high school. They would have like it's that very, very fine line to where I'm like, what is the right thing to do here? Because either it's so different, right? Because it's like you could have literally just been having classes or just been in the hallways with somebody like that because you're in high school. It's such a weird gray zone that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it is different than the typical, like, To Catch a Predator, that this 40-year-old was, like, trolling for, 12-year-olds kind of
Yeah,
scumbaggery. Yeah.
yeah.
I get why it was, like, an interesting thing that you brought up. It's just weird that it's come up so many times after you, like, brought it up that it keeps coming around.
I think it's because I got back into I think because the when it correlates is the To Catch a Predator podcast came out, and so I started listening to it again, and he referenced it his episodes, and I watched the True Blue episode, and I want to have the conversation with somebody, but at the same time, this is a dangerous thought. I don't know where to go with it, right? Because like on one hand, I'm like, yes, he's an adult and she's not, so it's wrong, but at the same time like what like it happens constantly, so I don't know I want to have the conversation but at the same time I don't, you know.
Okay.
it it po-
Gotcha.
it's like it's like the nightmares where it happens every so often and you can appreciate the nightmare that you had, but then you don't ever want to experience that ever again, so
Okay, fair enough.
yeah.
My next note is everyone does talk about Pokemon, but then when a guest doesn't talk about Pokemon, Jared makes them. Because you have complained about how Pokemon always comes up numerous times.
Yeah.
Which, let's lean back, is fair. Like, every single guest you bring on does talk about Pokemon. But then, on the rare occasions when they don't bring up Pokemon, you always ask them about Pokemon. So it's kind of your fault.
Well, it surprises me, right? Like it's always going to be there. Fuck it. Last night is a prime fucking example. One of the girls that I work with streams on Twitch, and she was streaming Pokemon, the original like anime, right? Which I found out Jesse and James are like 23, 25. Ash is like 12 and Misty is like 13, and then Brock is 18. Weird, super weird. But she had no idea about Pokemon, about the whole legacy behind it, about the whole lore that goes with it, and all the crazy shit that happened with it. But yet she was still into the Pokemon gaming, and it's just like Pokemon is there for everyone. So when it doesn't come up, I'm super surprised. And then when I do bring it up, they're like, "Oh yeah, this big thing," and just fuck it, yeah, okay. So let's have the conversation because I know it's there. It's gonna fill the time. Fuck it, I need another 30 minutes of content. So.
Dude,
Welcome back.
make
David.
a list. Make a list, brother. Like have different things.
We had
Don't
a
always go back to Pokemon.
bro. We had a talking list for this whole episode. Look at where it got us. We haven't talked about a single one.
I was prepared to talk about all of them, so fuck you.
Me too, but then we took 20 minutes talking about you guys being pussies about the ocean.
Fuck you, Jake. I would like to file a grievance.
It's easy to be brave when you aren't anywhere fucking near it, all right? Put you on a fucking fishing boat in a fucking Alaska somewhere in the North Sea, and then when you come back, if you come back, we'll see what your fucking stance on the ocean is.
David, I would like to file a grievance against Jake.
It smelled like fish. It sucked. Let's hear the grievance.
You don't get to talk just because the ocean thing. No. Everyone should be afraid of the ocean in some way. You should have some sort of fear in you. I don't appreciate being called a pussy. I'm a bitch and I am a rat, but I'm not a pussy. All right.
Yeah, he can't take a pounding that well.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You got to be sweet and gentle, baby. That's how that goes. Continue though. Continue.
Okay. Oh, the last one I have isn't a
Mhm.
complaint,
Okay.
and it's just that I think the episode where you had the guy who cooked for the Packers on might be the best episode of this show, including the ones I've been on. That was super fascinating.
You want to know a fun fact about that episode?
Sure.
Dude drank at least a 6-pack in that episode. At least a 6-pack at bare minimum.
Nice.
That doesn't super surprise me. They kind of had that energy.
Yeah, he was chugging the beers. I would thoroughly love to have him back on. I lost his information though, but yeah, he just fucking. You could tell he finished one, and he's reaching for another one, and he's cracking another one. I was just like, dude, relax. It's a podcast. Like, you're okay, man.
Yeah,
No,
that's what he was
that's the
doing. He
best.
was relaxing.
Yeah, that's the best time.
Love that man. I love that man. Ah.
Yeah, it was like a pretty good interview, and then yeah, once he like revealed that he was like the chef for the Packers, it was great.
Yeah, I
you did very well with like a interview for a subject that you didn't plan on talking about at all. It was a really good interview.
I appreciate that. A lot of people have complimented me on my interview skills, and I do my best to try to keep it entertaining. So thank you. Well,
You're welcome.
that
You're
was
still
the.
pussy about the ocean.
The Human Resources Department requires that I be available once a month to discuss workplace disputes with my employees.
Fun fact: I might be getting some new sound effects, by the way, boys.
Didn't we play that one already?
Yeah, we did. I played the wrong one.
Advice.
Yeah, I may have contacted a voice actor. I like some of her work, and she may be getting back to me about doing the advice opening. I think I was gonna have her do the complaint department, but I guess we don't have that anymore. Maybe we could do something with it, but yeah, the advice, the complaint department, and I was gonna see if I could get her to do a closing.
I always have something to complain about, Jared.
Perfect. Then we can keep the complaint department going. We can file complaints against each other, whatever. So, you guys ready to help our friends on Ask Women and Men?
Absolutely.
You okay over there, David?
No.
Just beating your chest off there, bud?
First of all, you can't say beating it off. And second of all, dude, I'm getting like sicker by the day, which I'm fine with because my son is getting better. So, like, I don't know. I'll gladly take it, but fuck, I feel like shit.
Oh, what's that guy's name? You're like John Coffey from the Game Mile. You gotta let it out.
No, because he takes it and then like spits it all out in supernatural like representation of healing. I'm just dying because I'm getting old. There's a big difference.
Don't do that.
Get
So,
old or die.
both. What stuff did you
Okay.
learn on Reddit, though, guys? What is something that you have learned on Reddit? Like something profound. David said 0 with his hand motions. We are on an audio.
I don't think David's ever used Reddit.
Correct.
I love how we're on an audio podcast where most people listen to the audio, and David's trying to give answers with a video signal. Good job.
First of
bud.
all, I was gonna also answer with my voice, you prick. That was mostly for you.
We're gonna skip David on a few of these questions.
Perfect. Yeah, I also don't use Reddit much. I've only been on like 3 subreddits. That I'm trying to think of a Malcolm in the Middle thing I learned from Reddit because that's the main one I've used. But I don't remember where I get information from, so I don't.
No, that's fair.
No.
Like random little tidbits. I learned all these little random little tidbits off of Reddit. I learned that people I want to say People have some of the weirdest fucking lives you've ever lived. Yet also, I'm more inclined to believe that some of the stories that they tell, there's like maybe a quarter of the truth in there. And people, one thing that I've really learned on the internet is people love to fucking brag. People absolutely love to fucking brag on the internet.
Yeah.
There was a story one time where this guy was telling it, and like he didn't need to include like half of the details. It was like, you're just telling a cool story about how you had sex with your ex-girlfriend's sister, like in this story. That's it. That's all there is to it. Like, well, that's cool, bro, that you did that, but where's the question? What's the ask, right? I love when I talk to my troops. I call them troops. When I talk to my reps, they'll tell me this whole long drawn out story, and I just interrupt them. I'm like, "What's the ask? Just tell me what the ask is. What do you need from me? I don't need to hear this cool story about this sale that you were trying to make." I hear a lot of crazy in the background there. A little twisted metal going on in the background, boys.
Yep,
That
exactly.
would be my wife watching Tacoma Fire Department.
I don't
Okay.
know what that is.
It's a show that is mildly funny that my wife finds hysterical that has Farva in it.
Oh, those guys. I know what one she's talking about.
Yeah.
I love
We
it.
watched like 4 episodes last night, and then I looked at the clock and went, it's fucking 2 a.m. I'm going to fucking bed.
You were up as late as I was.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, so David, if you don't do anything on Reddit, Twitter, what is something interesting you've learned through social media then that you can say?
Oh, fuck. So much. God damn. I mean, dude, all of my broadcasting skills and OBS and microphone selections and all of that shit that I do,
Mhm.
I learned all of that through social media, either through Twitter or through TikTok videos. Like, I've met tons of friends through all of that now like are go-to experts for some of that. Like, still to this day, if I have tech questions, I go to this dude named Knackers, who we ended up having connections to 2 different ways.
Nice.
But dude, he makes the best tech content out there, and he's just like goofy and weird about it too. So it's funny and entertaining tech content as well.
Nice.
And like when we were having issues with our internet,
Mhm.
he was the one who I contacted. I was like, hey, here's where my knowledge base is. Here's where it stops. Here's what I got going on. Can you recommend a solution for this? And he gave me a product to go get. We went to Best Buy, got it, and we have not had the internet problems that we did ever since.
Dope.
Yeah.
Was that splitter that you were talking about that you had installed?
It's not a splitter, it's a network. But like it creates individual hubs, and it's the Eero system. And dude, if you have multiple floors and multiple people needing high speed internet in large areas, dude, you've got to get it, because holy shit, it has changed our ability to function drastically.
Nice.
Can confirm. Frequently would not have been able to do this podcast the way the internet used to work.
Yep.
So it was like very hit or miss on whether I could do a video call in Discord before we had that.
That is
Nice.
correct.
All right. Next question here. What is one meal that holds a great amount of significance to you? What is a meal that holds a great amount of significance to you?
I have a weird association with specifically baked macaroni and cheese with my grandma dying.
Okay.
Like the first time I'd ever had that was like one of her sisters like brought it over like right after she died as like a like grieving thing.
A grieving meal. Okay.
Yeah.
David?
Man, it's kind of hard to pick. Like, I actually have a lot. Like, I don't know. I'm from a Midwestern family, dude. So like, there's a reason why we make all of the food that we make. Probably the most prolific is like the very specific way that my grandma makes chicken noodle soup,
Mm-hmm.
because I have not ever had chicken noodles done the way my grandma makes it anywhere else. Um, and like she makes that for any time the family is like getting together. That's how grandma gets people to come over now that grandpa is, not around. Is It's all right, look, I'm making chicken noodle soup. You guys come do this fucking holiday thing.
Fair enough. Polito's Pizza. Polito's Pizza holds a very significant spot in my heart. Like every time I have it, it's always just a little sad. It's a happy and a sad reminder because it was the pizza that Emily broke up with me when she's like, "Hey, come have pizza for me," and then Canada, bless her heart, who was paying very, very close attention. I took a photo with me, Alex, and one of my other buddies when we were having Politos for lunch. And I was like, "You'll never guess what I'm having." She goes, "Politos pizza." I was like, "How the fuck did you know?" She's like, "I looked at your photo and it says Politos in it." So like, it was, and that was when she actually started to get interested in who I was and what was going on, and that was one of the few times that the relationship skyrocketed. So it's got like a real low, but it's also got a nice little high there for it. Plus, their fucking macaroni and cheese pizza. Not to tie it into what Jake was talking about, but their mac and cheese pizza is fucking sublime. You can get real full real quick on their big slices, but the shit's tasty as all get out. So
Look at that. We all actually had an answer this time.
I know.
Yay.
Yay. This question is a little ambiguous, but that's kind of why I like it. What are your personal ethics and values that you swear by? So I know it's a little open ended.
Oh, Jared.
What?
Well, my minor in college was in philosophy with a focus on ethics. Like,
Okay, I gotcha.
You opened a potential big can of worms for a thing that I can talk at great length about.
Man,
I mean,
has.
I was gonna go with like if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. That's kind of the ethos I live by, you know.
Uh-huh.
That. So I don't.
Well,
yeah.
that's wrong though. Being early is just as bad as being late.
Shut up.
Okay,
I also don't actually believe that. I'm just fucking with David.
Okay, all right. Well, then we'll skip. We'll that. Fuck. Words are hard. We'll skip past that. Jesus.
No, I could try to think of a condensed thing.
Okay. So, I mean, like I'm getting a little hungry, man. All right, like.
Yeah, I won't go on like a big long thing. That's why it's warning you.
Oh, okay. If you could give me a small TLDR, Jake, I'll be happy.
He believes in Kantian ethics.
No, we don't. Fuck you, Dave. Shut up.
Don't know what that means, but all right.
Don't worry, that's one for your smart listeners.
You answer, David, while I try to think of a concise thing to say.
I mean, it's just as hard for me to like abbreviate all of my morals and ethics into one fucking catchphrase. But I mean, I guess really like if I had to try to summarize, I mean, obviously be kind. Like
Rewind.
no, shut the fuck up. If I were gonna quote any pop culture for that, it would be Doctor Who, not fucking Blockbuster. Jesus Christ.
They're making a comeback.
Any day
No.
now.
No. But I think for myself specifically, just based off of the way that I was raised and the experiences that I went through, like I will always sacrifice for the greater good of the people around me. Like I will always be the person to run. Like I used to literally have to teach the class where I work of like, look, when shit hits the fan and the fecal matter hits the oscillator, like, don't run into the burning building. Get yourself the fuck out. Because my dumbass is going to run back into the burning building and go get everybody out. Because that's just who and what I am. Like, I realize it's not the thing you're supposed to do, but I don't know. If you have the ability to help someone, you should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you can't help, do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah. I would say like the biggest thing is just think about and then actively pursue what you think is good. Like because like I said, like I studied, like I've spent like a lot of time thinking about it, like literally studying like all of these different, like, structures for, what is the ethical way to live.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of come down on it's not deciding on like a specific like version of what like morality and ethics is. It's figuring out like it's like genuinely thinking and putting yourself, like examining yourself and sort of how you think, and then trying to pursue those goods. Like it's good to like look at all these different perspectives and find the ones that work, but like I think much more important than like actually finding a specific like train of thought and like way of thinking about these things, I think it's more important to pursue that than to actually find one.
Fuck you. I'm just now realizing how many of our fucking arguments have been you just fucking with me. I hate you so much.
Many, David, so many.
I've argued that point to you.
I know. David, if I want to argue, I'm going to argue. It doesn't matter if I agree with you.
I hate you.
And I've said this to you many times. I'll get just as worked up defending a point I don't believe.
I know. The difference is I can usually tell. Fuck.
Do you guys want to go have an argument now?
I'm good.
Nah.
Maybe
Fair
later.
Final question here, because I like this one. What city disappointed you the most when you visited?
Chicago.
Wow, that was my answer too. I know Eric's gonna love that, by the way,
Oh, poor Eric.
because he lives out in the Naperville area.
No.
Way to dox him.
Right?
Naperville's actually a very large area. I found out. All right.
Yeah, still doxed him though.
Yeah.
Now if someone wants to find Eric, they just have to find every Eric in that region and then narrow it down.
I'm pretty sure he gives out his last name too on the NCAA.
I think he does.
Yeah, the
I'm
NC
pretty
Crappy
sure.
show. So.
Shots fired.
Oh, dude, I fucking hate the NCAA. All right, I fucking hate it with a passion. There's like 150 teams and how they keep up. I'm on top of like 5 NFL teams and that's it. Yeah, you want to have a conversation where I can just shit all over the NCAA and have that in-depth conversation where we can go an entire hour of shitting on the NCAA, just like Jake can talk about ethics and shit. Yeah, fight me on why the NCAA is so much worse than the NFL.
I mean, it's really where pure football can happen.
Okay, you're gonna shut the fuck up right now. So, Jake, what city disappointed you the most?
I think Cincinnati is the only city I've been to that I don't like. Their food sucks. Cincinnati style chili is disgusting, and everyone who makes it should be executed.
Wow.
Good
Yeah,
strong
there's
stance to go out on.
Nothing good in Cincinnati that I've experienced.
I'm
I
curious.
have heard Cleveland rocks.
Yeah, David, why didn't you like Chicago?
Well, for one, immediately while I was there, I just watched like a massive drug deal go down like right in front of my nice hotel. And both times I've been there, it's just been an absolute shit experience. Starting at the airport, because like I know a lot of people are like, well, don't blame us for your bad experience. Like, but it was your shitty city. Um, the way the fucking airport is designed and the way they run it is absolute dog shit. Their shuttle took me to 3 wrong hotels before it got me to the right one, and it's only supposed to go to one motherfucking hotel. Like everything that I did there just went wrong, and it was always like the system and like the Uber driver I had, who was allegedly, according to his rant that he went on while driving us, was born and raised in Chi-Town, got lost twice. Like, just absolute dog shit of a time both times I've been to that city.
I fucking both hotels that I stayed at, they were quote air quote nice hotels. One of them had no extra outer locks. I had to do the lock the door double tight, put the chair up underneath it just to make sure. Every both times I've been there, I've just woken up in the middle of the night with massive headaches, just not feeling well for like
Yes.
yeah, just massive headaches out of the fucking nowhere. Never had a problem with it. And then
Yep.
the fucking people, dude. One guy met one nice guy in Chicago. Pretty sure he wasn't from the area. And that's when he had told me that my girlfriend. He's like, "Hey, your girlfriend dropped her cigarettes," and she was like, "Oh, thank you." The only nice person, and that was after the concert was over and done with.
Dude, and then their pizza. Holy fuck. We got like pizza from this place that was like the best non-Chicago deep dish style pizza in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, the grease was literally in blobs. Like you could see it rolling off the pizza. It was so disgusting. Oh,
Your city sucks, Eric.
oh. I've just never had a good experience there, man.
I think the only good thing out of that entire city is Eric's puppies, Ghost and Blue, and maybe Wrigley.
Listen, Wrigley seems great.
Wrigley
They have big
actually,
buckets. What do you mean?
yeah,
They
Wrigley
have the Bears.
wouldn't come out
Boo.
of his hidey hole for me, and barely came out of his hidey hole for Mark. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for that visit, like he finally showed his face for like 2 seconds with Mark. So Wrigley, not so much, but Ghost and Blue.
Well, that's because he could tell you were a bird person.
I promise you, I'm not stupid. I'm just panicking. I hope you choke on that.
Can I be honest with y'all? I thought they were all robots at the zoo. I've never seen one in the wilds. So as far as I was concerned, they don't actually exist, but apparently they do. So that blows my mind.
This is going to be the second half of it. Jake, why did you do that to your face?
I don't know what you're talking about, Jed.
You shaved everything, sir. What did you do?
I didn't shave everything. Still got a beard.
Why'd you? Like, is it a spring cleaning? What?
Yeah. But I shaved my head. I was like, I should probably trim the beard. And this is what it got trimmed down to.
It's like a 2, isn't it? There's a 3.
It's a 3.
Looks like a very soft 3. Call it a maybe 2. But what? You were so big and bushy. Is it like the spring cleaning or something?
No, it was just getting too bushy for me. Mostly on the sides. I wanted to like trim the sides down, but like keep, the middle bushier, but I'm not good enough with a razor to have that work.
Dude, what you do? So, for those of you who aren't watching, you check out the video right now on Spotify, because Jake is a wildly different person. Did you try to do like the chin strap thing and then keep it long in the middle like I got? Is that kind of what you were
Yeah,
trying?
I wanted the sides a little longer than what they are now, but about like they are now, and then have it, kind of come to a point, but
What you have?
I'm not good at like tapering it.
Oh, literally, what I do is I try to find like where the mustache comes down, and then I find that Helios's tail is right in my way. Move. It comes down like how it just tapers right here. Literally, I just take it and I go 3 up, and if it works, great. I have the goatee, right? And then I don't fucking touch it. If it fails, I do what you do, where I'm like, looks like I start everything over, and I just got really, really lucky this last time. So that's what it. Do you like? Is like okay? This is like the grooming tips with Jared and Jake because David's not here. Do you like do it like once a summer or something like that? Is that like your typical time frame?
I don't really have a time frame. Usually, like once I'm like this, I generally keep it like this for like a while. Especially shaving my head. Like I'll shave it every time I like shower or go out for a long time.
Okay.
For like however many months until I get lazy and stop doing it. And then it'll either be like, okay, I need to deal with this before it becomes a whole fucking chore to do again, and I'll do it. Or I'll continue to put it off, and then like another month will go by, and then I'm like, well, I guess I'll just fucking let it all grow out until I feel motivated to do something about it again.
And then it gets to what we saw where Jake kind of looks like he may or may not be homeless. We're unsure.
Exactly.
Okay. What? How often do you gotta What? Let me ask you this real quick. Do you razor? Do you bick it, or do you use the safety razor?
No, I use clippers.
Oh,
I just
okay.
put the clippers like as low as they'll go and just shave it that way.
Oh. Do you bleed a lot when you do the bick it? Because I'll tell you what, dude, it took me months before I stopped bleeding.
Yeah, I did it once and bled a lot, and then went, I'm not doing this again.
So Gallo famously got me onto. He sent me his old single safety razor, right? And dude, I thought bicking was hard. No, this safety razor, like it's like precision, right, man? Because like it shaved. Like I used to be able to go like 3 or 4 days without having to like reshave my head with the safety razor. Now with the bic, it's like every 2 or 3 days I have to shave. Otherwise, it gets to that point where it's like this is gonna be like put on a podcast. I can get halfway through a podcast and I'm done shaving. But with the safety razor, dude, I even posted on Facebook there. I had a gash from like the front of my temple all the way kind of to like the back half, and I was like, wow, you gotta be real, like yeah, safety is the key here. So yeah, that was no bueno. But dude, if you can get into it, you can have it down in like 10 minutes with a bic or even with the safety razor. It'd be #worth it.
Yeah, I'm good. It's pretty quick doing it with the clippers. It doesn't. It lasts like close to it. There's not enough of like a gap for me to really feel motivated to do a bic. And I have shaky ass hands. There's no way I'm doing a safety razor.
Oh, okay, I got you. Because I'm not gonna lie. Maybe if your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever Jake decides to spearfish with, dude, let me tell you, when they rub your head and it's baby smooth right after you shave it, that like I've never felt so subby in my life. Where it's just like, oh wow, like this is what it feels like when I play with your hair. Oh, okay, yes, I will. Yeah, when do you want me to shave it? You tell me when and where. Yeah, this is great.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry, dude. Like, I just had to talk about your fucking dome. It's just for those of you.
Okay. Almost everyone I know has reacted in some sort of similar ways to how you did.
I need to start hitting record as soon as I pop in here and just be like, yeah, it's because my genuine reaction was, wow. Okay, Jake.
I know, I jump scared you. It was great.
And I'm like, and he's like, what's wrong? Want to save it for the podcast. I want to talk about it. And then he kept fucking poking and prodding me. So I had to hit record early, you son of a bitch.
It's what I do.
Dude.
I had 2 people at Magic this week who didn't recognize me until I said something.
They didn't recognize you?
Yes.
Dude, you look...
One of whom I've known for years.
Oh my god, you genuinely do look unrecognizable right now, like for realsies.
Fair.
Oh, Like you are a total you are like when David gets his haircut. I'm like, hey, big sexy. That's how I feel about Jake right now. It's like, hey, buddy, looking real fucking fly.
Are you recording already?
I could not hit record because of fucking Jake and what he did to his facial features.
Yeah, this wasn't to make David late start
No,
recording.
no.
This was a Jared couldn't hold his tongue anymore, so he started recording.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say, if you pulled that shit while I'm sick, and I had to go take fucking meds and shit, which I told you before we started, I was gonna punch you through the fucking computer. But all right, that's.
If I could have
fine.
recorded my reaction, David, you would know why it was almost impossible for me. I'm sitting here awkwardly with Jake in here. He's like, "How's your week? It's good." Fuck it, we're hitting record. I'm talking about this.
I forgot you've never seen Jake shaven.
All right, well, this is the true end of the episode. Say bye, everybody. That was recorded first. Bye.